Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're the show that digs into different sources, reports, all sorts of material, and we try to pull out the really key insights for you. Basically helping you get up to speed quickly on sometimes complex or, well, sometimes just noisy topics. Today, we're looking at something very specific. It's certainly generated some heat. It's an alleged leaked image of a personal check, and it's tied, supposedly, to a former U.S. president. So we'll be unpacking the claims around it. Is it real? Who was it paid to? How much? And importantly, what conclusions the source draws from it all.
Exactly. Our goal here isn't to verify the check itself, obviously, but to really understand the report we're looking at. We want to lay out the details as presented by the source, look at the story they build, and the implications they spell out, just giving you, the listener, a clear map of what this particular report is actually claiming.
Okay, right. Let's get into it. So where does the story even start?
Well, the origin, according to the material, is framed as a special report. It comes from a source called Conservative Army, and it's detailed further by another outlet, USA Politics Today.
Okay, Conservative Army, USA Politics Today. Got it. And the leak itself. How did this image supposedly surface?
The report claims, quite dramatically, that someone working at the National Federal Employees Credit Union in D.C. took a, quote, great personal risk to release a picture of this check.
Great personal risk. That definitely sets a tone.
It does. And the source is very explicit about who they say wrote this check.
Who do they name?
They identify the payer as, and again, this is a direct quote from the source, former president and traitor to his country, Barack Hussein Obama.
Wow. Okay, so traitor to his country. That's extremely strong language right from the beginning.
Absolutely. No mincing words there.
So let's break down the check itself, according to this report. Who is the recipient?
The payee listed is Mabi Mabi. And the report immediately explains this stands for the Muslim American Brotherhood International.
Mabi Mabi. Muslim American Brotherhood International.
Yeah.
And the amount.
The source calls it a whopping amount of $100,000.
$100,000. And there's a date and purpose mentioned.
Yes, dated March 17th, 2017. And the memo line, or the purpose, is apparently for 2017 dues.
Dues. Okay, and does the source elaborate on that?
They do. They speculate that since it says 2017 dues, quote, they venture to think that he pays this just about every year because they're annual dues.
Okay. So the source is suggesting this isn't a one-off payment, but potentially part of a regular pattern.
That's the implication they put forward, yes, based on that word dues.
Which leads us to the million-dollar question, or maybe the $100,000 question here, authenticity. What does the source say about whether this image is even real?
Right. The report asserts that digital forensic experts have looked at the image, and their supposed finding, the quote, it is authentic.
Digital forensic experts. Do they offer any specific proof points for that claim?
They list a few things. First, they say it looks like it was printed from a check writing program on a personal computer.
Okay, so not like a standard bank-issued checkbook check.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
And then there's this detail about the font. They claim it uses a font called Seocrypt, which the source says is, quote, one of Obama's favorites.
One of his favorites? That seems oddly specific. How would they know that? The source doesn't say.
The source doesn't elaborate on how they know it's a favorite font, just states it as fact to bolster authenticity.
And what about the signature? That's usually key.
They address that directly.
Yeah.
The claim is the signature is, quote, 100% accurate and original.
100% accurate. That's a very, very confident assertion.
Extremely confident. So you have these claims. Forensic experts, computer-printed, specific font, perfect signature. That's the case for authenticity presented in the report.
Okay. Now, going back to the alleged leaker, the bank employee, the report mentioned they took precautions.
Yes, the source says the employee was smart to have blocked the account numbers.
And why was that smart, according to the report?
Because, the source claims, blocking the numbers keeps the image itself from being a federal crime. Seems slightly redundant there, but that's the quote.
Right, so obscuring the account details avoids one type of legal issue.
But the report immediately adds, releasing the image, however, is terms for dismissal. And it also states the bank says they are looking for the perpetrator.
So even with the numbers blocked, the act of leaking is still a fireable offense, and the bank is investigating.
That's what the source states. And despite acknowledging this risk, the source praises the employee. They thank them, support them, call them the whistleblower.
So framing them as a hero, essentially.
Precisely. Someone acting out of principle despite the personal cost.
Now, this group, Mabi Mabi, the alleged recipient, The source provides some background on them, right? This seems crucial to their argument.
Very crucial. The report states that Mabi Mabi is, quote, listed by several countries as one that funds terrorism.
Okay, that's a serious allegation against the group.
And then the source immediately connects this to the Obama administration.
So,
It claims that Mababi was removed from the watch list by Obama administration 2009.
removed from a watch list in 2009, listed by countries as funding terrorism.
And the source draws a direct line between these 2 points. They state very bluntly, quote, now we know why Obama removed them from the list.
So the check in their narrative is presented as the explanation for the earlier policy decision.
That's exactly the connection the report makes. It posits the alleged payment as the motive for the delisting years earlier.
Okay, so pulling it all together, how does the source interpret this alleged check payment? What's the ultimate conclusion they draw?
Well, they're very clear it's not just seen as, say, a donation.
Right.
The report says this check, quote, doesn't simply show a charitable donation to an organization of the religion of peace, quote unquote. That quote unquote is in their text, by the way.
That phrasing itself tells you a lot about the source's perspective.
It certainly signals their viewpoint. They're dismissing the idea of it being a simple donation to a religious group.
So, if not a donation, then what?
The source concludes, quote, it shows that Obama is a member in good standing. That's why he pays annual dues.
A member paying dues. So they're interpreting this alleged payment as proof of active membership in this organization they've just described as linked to terrorism funding and previously on a watch list.
That is precisely the conclusion presented in the report. The alleged $100,000 isn't charity, it's membership dues, according to them.
And this leads to their final call to action.
Yes. The report culminates in a very strong demand. It states, quote, if this isn't cause for congressional hearings on Obama's treason, nothing is.
Treason. So they take it all the way there. From a leaked check image to alleged membership in a controversial group to a call for treason hearings.
That's the full arc of the narrative presented in this specific report from USA Politics Today, based on the conservative Army source.
Right. Okay. So just to recap for everyone listening, we've done a deep dive into this one specific report. We've walked through its claims about a leaked check image, the payer, the recipient, maybe, the $100,000, the dues purpose.
We've looked at how the source asserts its authenticity, the digital experts, the font, the signature, and how they frame the bank employee's actions as whistleblowing.
And crucially, we've examined the context the source provides about maybe, its alleged terrorism links, its removal from a watch list, and how the source explicitly connects that to the alleged payment, interpreting it as membership dues.
Leading to that final stark conclusion presented by the source, a call for treason hearings.
So we've explored the specific narrative presented by its source as huge developing news.
And delving into a report like this, one that makes such precise yet explosive claims based on an alleged single piece of evidence like a check image, it really brings up a broader point, doesn't it?
It does. It makes you think. What does a report constructed like this, weaving together specific details, interpretations, and such dramatic conclusions, tell us about the information environment we navigate every day?
Yeah, and maybe specifically, how do we, as consumers of information, evaluate what's presented to us as proof, especially when the implications are so significant, something to consider?